Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is. Happy day to you. It's April 9th, 2022, and we're going to be talking about the DraftKings 7 o'clock slate, as you can see below. Yesterday was a pretty good day for us. We did cash in some of our 50-50s and double-ups, but today's going to be a little bit better. Our shout-outs yesterday were to the Houston Astros and the Toronto Blue Jays lineups, as well as the Atlanta Braves lineups. Unfortunately, we didn't get all of the big bats that we needed to, so we're going to do a little bit better, or try to do a better job today. If you like the video at any point, hit a thumbs up or subscribe to the channel so that you never miss a video. Now let's get into the sports because it's been 40 seconds already. Two pitchers that I absolutely love on today's slate would be Joe Musgrove and Tony Gonsolin. You might ask yourself, who is Tony Gonsolin? Listen, he's been injured all throughout his career, but he does still get the strikeouts. 69 strikeouts through 59 innings. I'm excited about it. I think this is a good matchup for him. Colorado has a lot of strikeout guys on their roster. The one little bit of a problem that we have here is some of the wind blowing out. Atlanta and Cincinnati, wind blowing out to left. If we find the Dodgers game, 13-mile-per-hour winds blowing out to right field. The strikeouts should be there for Gonsolin to compensate for it. All we're doing is building a 5 or 6 player build that we're going to build our lineup around throughout the day. Some high players that we want to absolutely have in our lineup, as well as some low players that are going to save us some money so that we can play around with our lineup elsewhere. Catcher, we will revisit soon. First base, I think, is the one position that you are going to have to get a few players from, there's a few players to target at first base. You look at Matt Olson, a left-handed batter going up against Gutierrez. He should have himself a good ball game. Pete Alonso looks like he's going to be healthy going up against Add-on, a pitcher that we really don't know exactly where we're going to get. He's had one game, and I believe he had 20 points in that game. 20 fantasy points last year in his one game against Boston. So the strikeouts were there. The hits allowed a few. One home run. Not really sure what we're going to get. Maybe you want to be a little bit different and go with Matt Olson. Freddie Freeman is a guy that's in a very good position. Josh Bell might be the best value play. But for now, I'm going to be going with Joey Votto. With the expectation that I could pivot down to Josh Bell or Freddie Freeman, we'll lock in Joey Votto going up against Wright, Kyle Wright from the Atlanta Braves. Kyle Wright last season against left-handed batters. Okay, I'm not lying. Kyle Wright. I'm not just making things up when I come to do these videos. Kyle Wright, a 14.52 ERA against left-handed pitchers or against left-handed batters. Again, he didn't pitch very much, but if you go back even further, it is still a little skewed higher towards left-handed batters, so they're picking up the ball out of his hand very quickly. Joey Votto and left-handed Cincinnati bats is something that I want to kind of hone in on today. Go over to second base. Trey Turner's going to be the obvious play for me, or he should be the obvious play for people. I think he's going to have himself a good game. Chris Taylor against Marquez. He could be in a decent spot. He also has that 2 position. Maybe you want to put him in an outfield if you love one of these second basemen a little bit more. And then also another guy that can double dip in 2 positions is Jeff McNeal, who I believe is 4 for 7 on the season already. Going up against Add-on. Again, we don't know exactly what we're going to be getting here. So if we want to lock in right now just how we want to have our lineup, knowing that I want flexibility later on, maybe I want to put Trey Turner in at shortstop, I'm going to save a little bit of money and go Chris Taylor. Chris Taylor does pick up the ball well from Marquez's hand. Through, I think, 12 at-bats. He has a .375 batting average against Marquez. That's Chris Taylor we're talking about. And 4 walks. That means he sees the ball extremely well coming out of his hand, in my opinion. If you're able to read the ball, you're able to see if it's a ball or a strike. You're taking better swings. And hopefully, we'll set you up for a little bit more success at the plate. Now we roll over to third base. And I think one guy that you want to really focus in on is actually not at the top of the leaderboard. Manny Machado. San Diego hasn't really gotten the bats going yet. Austin Riley could be a nice play. Alex Bregman. I already said, righty-lefty matchup. I want Bregman. Maybe not against Syndergaard, a sinker ball pitcher, forcing fastball. Bregman likes to have those hanging curveballs and pounce on those. Max Muncy could be a good play. Justin Turner, I think only is batting like 111 against Marquez, and he's seen him a ton, being both in the NL West. One guy that I want to focus in on would be this guy, Mike Moustakas. If he's playing, which he should be, another left-handed bat against Kyle Wright at $2,800. This is going to save us a lot of money in our wallet for remaining players. At $2,800, I think he's going to be the best value third baseman of the day. I'm fine with putting him in there for now, knowing that I might have to adjust my lineup a little bit later. With that, Because I saved so much here at $2,800, it's not outrageous to go get Trey Turner. These two players together would average $4,100, $4,200. There's other shortstops you can look at. For me, it's not there. I want Trey Turner in the Los Angeles Dodgers offense in this windy blowout condition. Now that we have our foundation built for our lineup, we need to look at what we can do. So we have 3,900, which isn't bad. It's not great. I would like to have closer to 4,200, but there's some things you can do to change it and move it around. If you want to go back over to catcher's a place that I'm always looking to save money. Darnode had a good game. Max Stassi would be an interesting play. I think Kelly, some people will try and focus in on. That's not for me. I'm going Tyler Stevenson. Another bat going up against Kyle Wright. If I already think Cincinnati's going to be putting a lot of men on board, Stevenson should be in a position to pick up even more RBIs that he has on the season. Another one that you could play would be Jason Castro. He's probably going to be the starter, and at $2,600, all you're really looking for is 8 points out of him. But Tyler Stevenson will lock that in, bumps up to $4,200 remaining. Going down to the outfield, we already mentioned one guy. Jeff McNeil is who we could look at to put in the outfield at $3,100. Now you have $4,800 remaining. So you can go upstairs and get yourself a big bat from the top selection. Juan Soto would be a good one. Shohei Ohtani, not really sure. Justin Verlander, probably going to be on a limited pitch count. On the other side, Syndergaard might be on a limited pitch count as well. But not really willing to pick him up yet. He's going to explode eventually. It could be today. If we flip over to the screen, you'll see Mookie Betts against Yerman Marquez. He has 5 hits and 11 at-bats, so that's good enough for a .455 batting average. Again, this is the full slate of players on the day, so if you see another player on here that has a substantial amount of hits, go ahead and look at that, as well as home runs. We'll put that on for you just so you can take a glance. Josh Donaldson, if you're playing in the earlier slates, there's the Josh Bell mention that I talked about earlier. In 3 at-bats, he has 2 home runs against Chris Bassett. So picking up the ball very well. Max Muncy against Marquez. Bellinger, Marquez. Lots of Dodgers bats here against Marquez. We'll hop back over to DraftKings. So if you're looking and don't want to play Joey Votto, you will probably want to pay down for Josh Bell. Now to round this out, we already have Mcneal in here. We're going to lock in Betts, another Dodger bat, giving us $4,500. Nothing outrageous, but you have Eddie Rosario here. Maybe that's a play. Michael Brantley, who's just a very, very consistent hitter. Lots of doubles, lots of RBI opportunities hitting behind Jose Altuve, and lots of opportunity to be a run scored with Bregman, Tucker, and Alvarez batting behind him. Trent Grisham could be there. Marcell Ozuna, if you want to play Atlanta, the flip side of that Cincinnati-Atlanta game. You look back at the current lineup, we have lots of away hitters, which means we're guaranteed 9 innings of at-bats. If you're the home team and you're leading, you won't get that 9th inning at-bat, so we're guaranteed at least 9 innings of at-bats with most of these hitters. So we'll put in Eddie Rosario for now. If you don't trust me with Joey Votto and you don't trust Cincinnati because that offense hasn't been clicking so far, we'll drop Votto. We'll go after Josh Bell, save ourselves $800, and then we can upgrade from Rosario or McNeal to go get one of these other bats. Kyle Tucker is there. Chris Bryant is there. Yordan Alvarez, Nelson Cruz, Mark Canha against Adon, who we don't know exactly what we're going to get. Adam Duvall, and then we're back down to Rosario. So we're probably going to be rolling with something similar to this. I love Josh Bell. I wish I could play him at 2 positions. I love Joey Votto. Wish I could play him at 2 positions. This might be something that we roll out there with tonight. So again, April 9th, 2022, MLB 7 o'clock slate, Saturday night. If you have any questions, find me on Twitter at all of the things that are over here listed at the top of your screen, or leave it in the comments below. I always respond. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel so you never miss a video. Have a good one.